Okay, hello everyone. My name is MegaFoxMan, and I'm here today with one of my first videos on the channel, which is going to be a twist on an already existing challenge for World of Warcraft. So with this, we're in World of Warcraft Burning Crusade Classic. Now, a lot of you may have heard of a challenge called the Iron Man Challenge. So what I've done regarding this challenge is I've come up with my own little twist, and you may be able to guess what that is from the name of my character. So I'm here with craft only. So basically what I'll be able to do is only craft items, only use items I've crafted. Now, some people might say, oh, that's not too hard, it's not as hard as the Iron Man challenge, and in that way you'd be right. However, I've rolled a warrior. So warriors are very gear dependent characters, and they tend to scale quite well with gear. So what I'm going to be doing is rolling with blacksmithing, only using that and mining. Obviously I've set a few small tidbits that I can use, so obviously first aid and cooking are fine, as well as fishing. Okay, but I can't buy any materials from the auction house apart from crafted reagents only. So things that I couldn't craft myself, such as things made by engineers or enchanters that I may need for certain recipes. However, you'll see how much I pay for those, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I wasn't sure how hard I wanted to be on myself, because obviously my starting gear is something I haven't crafted myself, but I feel like I could maybe get away with not using my armor. So we're going nude. Well, the shirt doesn't actually give anything, but so we'll wear that. But I'm going to keep the weapon, okay? Because doing that will just make the game very, very hard. Now let me just change my sound settings again. Okay, so we're going to be starting here with cutting teeth. So the first order of business will be put a little strength in your backbone. I could send you out to the Barrens to hunt the Kodo, but well, in all honesty, you're more useful to us alive than dead. I believe you'll find a good match for the mottled boars. Okay, yeah, so cutting teeth, as the name suggests, we're just going to run out there, kill a few boars, and then come on back. Okay, so one precipice of this challenge is it's going to be a hard challenge. Why did I roll Orc? Well, personally I think Orc is a pretty good choice because Durotar in itself does have quite a lot of copper nodes, and see, naturally I would just instinctively put that on, but alas I cannot. So we are going to be making quite a bit more money by selling most of the things that we collect. Okay, so the funnest thing is obviously going to be getting out of this starting area and getting into the wider Durotar area. Okay, so one thing that this will do, so this is coming out around the 16th of June, so Wrath of the Lich King Classic is right around the corner. Okay, so I think by the time maybe I reach max level, Wrath of the Lich King Classic will be coming out. So I will continue with the challenge on this character up through to Wrath of the Lich King. However, I'm not entirely sure whether I want to continue this on fully once I'm at max level, because although there are some very good items you can get from crafting only at max level, I don't want to bottleneck myself so much that I will never be able to play the game at endgame level. Okay, so one thing I've thought about that is maybe keeping the last pieces of armor that I crafted at level 70 or at level 80 even when Wrath of the Lich King comes around, and saving that for future expansions or wow, that's a bit up in the air. Everyone's not very sure if there will be another one for Cataclysm. But we'll see when we get there. I mean, that's still quite a while away. There may also be some content coming with Dragonflight, which is just I wouldn't say it's around the corner. We've got about 6 months or so between then and now. I could always try this challenge as well in retail WoW. However, the issue with that is mining experience you get is very high. You are very quickly to outlevel current gear and your zone. So one thing is with retail especially, there is quite a bit of a power spike as soon as you hit level 10. So if you've still got pardon me, if you've still got white gear around level 10, you will struggle to kill some mobs depending on the class and spec that you are playing. But for right now, we're just sticking with Burning Crusade Classic, and I've only just realised I'd already finished the quest, so I was just grinding for a bit of XP. Okay, so obviously, as we are a warrior, we are going to be rolling with blacksmithing and mining. Spec I'm undecided upon, as obviously if you go shield and one-hander, you have more survivability, but you're a bit slower at killing mobs. Going fury or arms, you have the two-hander, it's more PvP based spec, and fury is more your PvE spec. However, you have to craft one-handers and two-handers when you eventually get to Burning Crusade. So I think I may just mess around. We'll just take the ones themselves some more. I'll mess around with DPS timers just to see what is the quickest way of killing mobs, obviously, because we're going to be spending a lot of time just mining, and I will do a lot of that just off camera as well. So the best thing about hitting level 2 is I can learn Battle Shout if I had some money. Let me just go and grab Galgar's Cactus Apples. So the quest we've just picked up. Sting of the Scorpids. Lots of people dying to Scorpids, getting stung. Yada yada yada, let's make some antidote from their tails. So I do have a few add-ons, like Cell Junk is one that I absolutely adore, because it just takes a lot of the annoyance out of having to go through your bags manually and sell junk. Especially in this challenge, as I won't be able to use any of it. But it's pretty good when it's not something I'd recommend when you're playing something like an Iron Man challenge, which is something I might be open to doing on retail, as they are quite fun, especially if you go through more newer content. So leveling up through Legion or Battle for Azeroth, they are quite they can be a little bit difficult depending on obviously the class and spec that you do play. I did want to try and get out of the starting area within the first 15 minutes, but usually it does take around half an hour to 45 minutes. So I'll just see how far we can get through here. Okay. Well, it's been so long since I've ever had to record something, so I'm constantly saying okay as a bit of a like an anxious rebuttal. Right. So one thing I'd like to say is many people might have a question: why would you pick warrior? Okay, so it would be very easy, say, if you pick something like a hunter, a mage, a warlock, something with a pet, or with great kiting capabilities. That's not something I wanted to go for. I wanted to make this as brutal as possible. So I picked a class with no real self-healing capabilities outside of talents or bloodthirst. So with this will kind of force me into, obviously as my name is, crafting it only. So I'll have to make a lot of bandages, a lot of foods, basically be a very self-reliant character. I should have named my character working 9 to 5, but I don't think I'll be able to fit that many words in. Okay, so cactus apples are done. We can head up here and start killing some of these scorpids. I'm not going to go for wild familiars yet, because most people, if you've played this game long enough, you've kind of got your own inbuilt route and what you would follow. So I usually tend to use wild familiars for last, because obviously you've got to do Hanazua's quest over here of Sarkov. So one thing I will notice is I will start taking considerably more damage, as I have, I don't even know what my base defense is. So I have 36 armor base, with no gear equipped and only the weapon. So with this weapon as well, I will only be able to replace it with one that I've crafted myself. So I've been playing the game for quite a long time. I know the ins and outs of crafting up to a retail expectation, but within Burning Crusade and Classic, there are quite a few more rarer patterns and weapons, and a lot of the stats are more different. And obviously, along with that, you have the skill system. So the one thing I will only really be able to use are swords, two-handed axes, and unarmed combat. Now, obviously, as it's classic, you do want to level up your unarmed as you go along. So we can try that here against this scorpion. Oh, actually, I do hit quite hard. You know what? I probably could have done this with no weapon, but I would lose out on my heroic stroke and be relying solely on battle shouts and auto attacks. And see, obviously my health did drop quite a bit by at least another 20 points and well. At this lower level, spirit doesn't really matter because you tend to heal quite quickly before level 5. But after that, that's when you start relying more so on food and drinking. But as you can see, I'm almost approaching 50% health just from my own level. So just for that reason, I'm going to allow myself to keep the two-handed axe and just power on through this way. Okay, so we are approaching time, so I think what I'm going to try and do is get up just to Sarkov. So we've just hit level 3, which means we are able to take Sarkov at this point. He is a level 4 mob, so it shouldn't be too hard, considering none of the Scorpion Walkers are aggressive mobs, so it just is a case of stand and smack and kill. So I'll get these last 3 Scorpion Worker Tails, and then I'll head up there and kill him. But saying that, I may as well just head up there anyway, as there are some Scorpions up there that I could just kill. So I'm quite excited to try and see this challenge through. Obviously, it's going to be quite a difficult challenge. Not so much difficult as in the gear I'm going to be making is absolute rubbish. It's more so that it's going to be very time consuming, because in Burning Crusade Classic, obviously it's different to retail. You have your many different attempts at gathering materials, so gathering a node could take up to 3 to 4 hits. Even then you can still fail, so that first bit getting off the ground can usually be a little bit difficult. So let's give this a go. Sarkov should go down pretty easily. Obviously he's debuffed me with poison, but Blood Fury is from my passive. And that is done. So I think I'll go head down here, hand this into Hanazua, and then nip on back to Gornek to hand in Singular Scorpid and Galgar's Cactus Apple Surprise. And then I think we'll make the cut for the first episode, and then I will carry back on. Hopefully in the next episode, just get out the starting area, and then the real challenge can begin. Obviously I don't want to make these videos too long, as they're my first few videos, because if they're too long, people won't obviously watch them all the way through. I know that, speaking from experience, I quite like short videos, usually 15 minutes or so, unless they're from like someone I'm subscribed to. But as like a bit of a taster session, they're pretty nice length, and it also does pretty well with the YouTube algorithm as well. So I'll try and put out at least 1 or 2 of these videos a day. So this first one, although today is the 16th, I'm not sure if I'll get it out 2 days. It is already quite late, so it might be a capability of being out on the 17th, and then obviously I'll film the next few, and then they'll be up by the morning time of the 18th, so on and so forth, just because of the way my job works. Okay, so let's just handle these in. And I've just realised one thing as well, just before we cut off. Just because of how my challenge works, I won't actually be able to use capes. And I'm not sure what I want to do about that. Okay, so I think as it's a craft only challenge, I might just force myself to only use crafted cloaks from other people that I can find on the auction house. So with that, I'll sell all these. I'll keep the food just because you might need it. And yeah, I'll think about that between the second or third episode, but I think that's what I might go with. But anyway, thank you very much for watching this first episode. I'm going to pick right back up after the second one and carry on from there.